I'll fight Deontay Wilder in America. I'll fight Joshua in London. I'm not afraid of going abroad. I've been abroad before on the road. It takes someone like me to go over and beat someone up. Because at the minute, the Americans are showing the Brits up rotten. The Brits are running away scared. And there's only me who's saying, right, I'll have to fight him. If I'm ready, I'm ready. If I'm not, I'm not. I can't have him calling us over here, whatever expletive he used there, and everybody in America saying them British guys don't really fight. I'll go over to America and fight him and knock him spark out. I've got Francesco Pianetta out the way. Oh, sorry, I've got to get Francesco Pianetta out the way, and then I'll come for Wilder. Joshua is a bleep, whatever it is he said there. I'll apologize for him and Eddie Hearn. No balls. But I'm the man. I'll fight you, Wilder, no problem. You might have had all the activity and all the motion and probably the favorite going in. But when I win again, what are they going to say? So that's the latest from Tyson Fury. And as I said the other day in the video, he's saying all this kind of stuff, calling people out, but he's fighting Pianetta in his next fight. A man who got stopped by Kevin Johnson last year. A terrible opponent. And while I understand that Tyson Fury is going through a period of rehabilitation where he's rehabilitating his body, he's getting his confidence back and all this kind of thing, I appreciate that. But I would just prefer him to start calling people out once he's ready to actually fight them. Rather than calling them out when he has no intention of fighting them anytime soon, call them out when you actually are in a position physically to fight these guys. Because right now it's just bluster, right now it's just hot air. Anthony Joshua said to him, I'll fight you instead of Wilder. If Wilder won't fight me in April, I'll fight you. Tony Bellew said he'd fight Tyson Fury later on this year. Nothing on either account from Tyson Fury. No response. He's not interested in fighting those guys anytime soon. But yeah, he keeps calling them out, keeps calling Joshua a disgrace and a coward and all this kind of stuff, but he won't fight the man. It don't look good when you're calling people out that you won't fight. It don't look good at all. And as far as fighting Wilder, is he serious about fighting Wilder like next? Because he's insinuating here that he'll be willing to fight Wilder once he gets Pianetta out of the way. Is he serious? If he's actually serious, what does that tell you about his opinion of Deontay Wilder? Forget about what he says, because actions speak louder than words. Don't watch what a man says. Watch what a man does. If he is genuinely willing to fight Deontay Wilder next after Pianetta, what does that tell you about what Tyson Fury thinks about Deontay Wilder? Because he's not willing to fight Joshua next. He ain't talking about that. But he's willing to fight Wilder next. So what does that tell you about his opinion of Deontay Wilder? What does that tell you about the opinion he has of himself at the moment? That he's not willing to fight Joshua next, but is willing to fight Deontay Wilder next if he's serious about this. You know? So, again, I like Fury. I think when he's at his best, he's a tremendous heavyweight. I'm glad he's back. I think the heavyweight division missed him a lot. But, as I keep saying, Tyson, when you're ready, then be calling these guys out. To be calling them out when you're not actually going to fight them anytime soon is a bit corny to me. Maybe you guys disagree. And we'll also see if Tyson Fury is willing to fight Wilder in America as he says. I think he is willing, simply for the fact that Tyson Fury is not a box office star in the UK. So, from a financial point of view, there's really nothing keeping him from going to the United States to fight, Deontay Wilder. There's nothing keeping him. Why wouldn't he go to the United States? It's not like he can make, loads more money in the UK than he could fighting Wilder in the US, or even close to as much money. They say Joshua turned down a certain amount of money to fight Deontay Wilder in the US in favor of fighting in the UK. But if Joshua does fight Wilder in the UK, he's still going to make a hell of a lot of money. He's still going to make, £30 million or something like that. at least, as opposed to 37 million in the United States, or 40 million maybe in the States. Whereas Tyson Fury, he's not going to make very much money in the UK, relatively speaking, for Deontay Wilder. And he might actually get paid a bit more in the States. So it might be worth it more for Tyson Fury from a financial point of view to actually fight Deontay Wilder abroad in the United States. So, I don't know, maybe he'll do it. And you see, my whole thing is I just want to see these guys fight. That's my whole thing. All the fanboy back and forth aside, I want to see the guys get in the ring and fight. So I'd love to see Tyson Fury go to the United States and fight Wilder. I'd love Wilder to fight Joshua. I'd love, all these guys to just get in there and fight each other. That's what I want to see. And that's what we will see. That will happen. It's just a matter of time. Rome wasn't built in a day. And I always talk about the 90s. And trust me, in the 90s, things didn't happen overnight. We had to wait years for certain matchups, and some matchups never happened. Mike Tyson, George Foreman was a matchup that people wanted to see. It never happened. Holyfield versus Razor Ruddock was a fight people wanted to see. It never happened. Holyfield versus Tyson was a fight that was supposed to happen in the late 80s, early 90s. It didn't happen because Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. Then it was supposed to happen again when Holyfield became champion after beating Douglas. But it didn't happen that time because Tyson caught a rape charge and went to prison. It eventually happened in 1996. I think it was November 96 when their first fight happened. When most people thought Holyfield was over the hill, past it, and expected Mike Tyson to just blast him out in a couple of rounds, and it turned out to be one of the biggest upsets in heavyweight history. But that fight was years and years and years in the making, and it fell through several times prior to that. Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis. That was a fight that was many, many years in the making. Remember, Holyfield fought Riddick Bowe 3 times. And Holyfield and Lennox Lewis were both promoted. Well, actually, I'm not sure who promoted Holyfield by the time he fought Lewis. Was he promoted by Don King then? Because Don King had options on Holyfield when Holyfield beat Tyson. I can't remember how many fights he had under Don King. It's gone a long time back now. But earlier on in Holyfield's career, he was handled by the Duvers, right? They managed and promoted him. And trained by Georgie Benton, along with Lou Duver, doing some of the training as well. Lennox Lewis was promoted by the Duvers in the United States. Lewis had Frank Maloney as his manager and Panos Eliades, who was a Greek businessman, as his promoter with Panix Promotions. That's the company that Panos Eliades had. And that was in the UK. But for his stuff abroad, he worked with the Duvers. All right. So that should have been an easy fight to make, right? Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield. But it took years to make that fight. Holyfield had fought Tyson twice. He'd fought Riddick Bowe 3 times. And they still hadn't made the Lewis fight. So when it eventually happened, and they obviously had 2 fights, that was after many, 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 many years of trying to get that fight done and the fight not happening, despite the fact that both guys were represented by the same promotional outfit, at least for some portions of their career. And then obviously Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. That took years and years and years to come to fruition. So again, when people are criticizing this particular era of heavyweight boxing, understand that in one of the golden eras of heavyweight boxing, the 90s, a lot of the fights took a very, very long time to make. And some of them never happened at all, like Lewis versus Bowe. They were supposed to make that fight several times. Bowe ducked it initially, and it came out years after the fact that Eddie Futch was the one who blocked the fight from happening. He didn't think Riddick Bowe was ready to face Lennox Lewis in 93, 94. So he blocked the fight. But yeah, that was a huge rivalry that those 2 guys had. It was kind of like Amir Khan versus Kell Brook in terms of the intensity of the rivalry. That they really didn't like each other at all. They were always talking smack about each other in interviews, and this was going on for years and years and years. Lennox Lewis saying he would repeat what he did to Bo in the Olympics where he stopped him. And Bo saying, nah, it'll be different in the pros. And yeah, they just never ended up fighting. And that's in the golden era of heavyweight boxing, one of the golden eras. So, put things in context of what's happening today. These fights will happen. And I don't think we're going to have to wait until Wilder and Joshua are 40 years old. Or, 30. Well, Wilder's closing in on mid-30s now, isn't he? I don't think we're going to have to wait until they're that old. I think the fight between Joshua and Wilder, as long as they keep on winning, there's a good chance it will happen in 2019. A good chance. So hopefully we'll see it. And if not, then we'll see Tyson Fury fight Wilder or Tyson Fury fight Joshua. Maybe both. Anyway, let me know how you feel about everything I talked about in this video. It's happening. I'm out.